Hello, YouTube. My name is Alan, and it's that time, once again, let's talk metal. For this episode, I am going to present a heavy metal mystery, something that has been bugging me for a number of years, and I'm going to hope that someone out there can figure it out and provide an answer, because I have not been able to. This is something that also came up on a heavy metallurgy live stream a while back. It just kind of came up in passing. I mentioned it, and some people in the chat were like, "Oh, that shouldn't be hard to figure out." And they checked out some other links and stuff. And for the rest of the night, they're like, "Wow, we really can't find an answer to this." So it was annoying that nobody had the answer. It also made me feel a little bit better that somebody couldn't just tap in three things and the very first link that came up was the answer, and I had just missed it all this time. But it means that I still don't have an answer to this. The mystery revolves around this album, Exciter's second release, Violence and Force from 1984. And this is just a CD reissue. It's a fantastic album. I've loved this since I got it sometime way back in the probably mid 90s. Uh, Cover artwork is just, very 80s cliche kind of thing. But it's got an absolutely killer track list, 9 songs, pretty much all of them absolutely rip. There's only one problem. This track list is wrong. This album should have 10 tracks on it, not 9, as we see on the CD here. In the middle of the track list, track number 5 should be Evil Sinner. I know this because if we look at an original copy from 1984, here we are, and here on the end of side A is Evil Sinner. There's 5 tracks on each side, 5 on side A, 5 on side B. But this CD reissue from 2004, the date is on it right here. Yes, there's going to be a lot of looking at numbers this episode. That's the way it goes. It only has 9, and you can see that Evil Sinner is not included in the track list, which really sucks because it's a kick-ass song. Even amongst all the really great songs on this album, that one stands out as one of the best. Where is it? Why is it not on this reissue? Well, I know where it ended up. It ended up on this. This is Exciter's first album, Heavy Metal Maniac, from June of 1983. If we look here in the bonus tracks, oh, there's Evil Sinner. At some point, the song Evil Sinner got moved off of Violence and Force and got moved onto copies of Heavy Metal Maniac. And I don't know why, and it is bothering me. So, what we're going to do here is try to figure out at least when this seems to have occurred. I'm going to pull up some things. We're going to try to pinpoint exactly what pressings have the right original track list and when the pressings started having this kind of weird track list. This copy of Heavy Metal Maniacs came out in 2005. So by 2004, 2005, things were wrong. Uh, the original copy I showed earlier has obviously got the right track list, and original copies of Heavy Metal Maniac did not include Evil Sinner. So somewhere in between 1984 and 2004, things went a little bit pear-shaped. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out why this song migrated onto this album. I mean, it even says here very clearly in the description of the bonus track that Evil Sinner recorded November 1983, Ithaca, New York, and that's the correct time frame and location for when Violence and Force was recorded. You can read in the fine print at the bottom. It's recorded, yeah, at that studio in Ithaca. And the recording happened after Heavy Metal Maniac had already been released. This album came out in June of 1983. Well, it says there very clearly that this recording of Evil Sinner is from November of 1983, which is 5 months after this album was released. So there's no way that Evil Sinner was meant to be part of Heavy Metal Maniac. It's not like an extra recording that was done during the Maniac sessions and just somehow didn't make the final cut. Like, nope, it was not part of that recording session at all. This album was already out in shops for almost half a year before this version got recorded. Something else I considered was maybe Evil Sinner had some kind of weird different writing credits to it. Different band members owned the song, and some kind of weird legal thing happened where they had to move it to a different album. But that's not the case either. This is the insert that came with the original copy of Violence and Force that I've shown. They do mention, there's some symbols put next to some songs here, where different people contributed or whatever. Some with an upside down cross, some with a little star. But Evil Sinner doesn't have any weird designation. So there's nothing really different about, the song credits that would indicate it was necessary to remove the song from the album later on. So again, I cannot come up with any reason why the song migrated off of Violence and Force and onto Heavy Metal Maniac. And I would love to know why. There had to be a reason for it. Um, but I can't figure it out. So again, the next part of this is trying to figure out if we don't know why, let's at least try to figure out when. And I don't exactly know the answer to this. I'm sort of doing this little bit of sleuthing live. But for this, we're going to have to share the screen and hop over here to Discogs. All right, let's blow this up a little bit larger and let's go over to Discogs and take a look at some of the pressings. There's a lot of versions of this, so this may take a bit to flip through. Let's see. We'll start with Heavy Metal Maniac. We have 23 different versions. Just to confirm that I'm not insane, let's look here. Original LP pressing on Shrapnel, Heavy Metal Maniac. We've got Holocaust, Stand Up and Fight, Heavy Metal Maniac, Iron Dogs, Mistress of Evil, Under Attack, Raising the Dead, Black Witch, Cry the Banshee. No Evil Sinner on the original pressing of Heavy Metal Maniac. All right. So now we've got to try to figure out when it appeared. That was the original press in 83. Here's a reissue from 88. Let's see. Does this have Evil Sinner on it? I want to guess no, it doesn't. Nope, no Evil Sinner on that reissue from 88. Let's see. Here's the first CD pressing that I'm seeing. Let's see if it showed up on the early CD. Here, this is a Road Racer CD from 1989. Let's see what we got. All right. Ah, yes, one of those price killers CDs. Those things are expensive, kind of collectible. Let's see. Holocaust, Stand Up and Fight. Nope, no Evil Sinner on that. Okay. We carry on. Another CD from 89. Here's a CD from 2005. Now, here, this the one I've got. Is this the Rock Brigade pressing? I didn't note. Mine just says Megaforce Records. Well, let's see about this one then. So, Brazilian Press, Rock Brigade, Heavy Metal Maniac CD from 2005. I want to guess this one does have Evil Sinner on it. That would line up with my copy. Bonus tracks. Okay, there it is. Evil Sinner is on that version from 2005. Can we back up and find out on anything before that? Doesn't look like it because we already checked this one from 1989. So yeah, when the album Heavy Metal Maniacs was getting repressed, reissued in the late 1980s, it still had its original track list. But when it started getting reissued in the mid 2000s and 2005, that's where it picked up these bonus tracks. Let's look at another pressing from 2005. And yeah, Evil Sinner keeps showing up in the bonus tracks there. All right. I don't know if it shows up in every version since then. Let's look at a more recent one and see what it has. Here's a CD pressing from, let's see, the unknown ones. I'm always a little, I don't know what the deal is, why they don't have a year on those. Let's look at the Heavy Metal Maniacs. Here's an LP reissue from 2023. Let's see what that has. The vinyl seems less likely to have the bonus tracks, unless it's a two-album set. Yeah, no weird bonus tracks there. So just the original track list. Let's look at a CD pressing from this time frame, if we can find one. US. See, here's a CD pressing Japan from 2016. And yep, once again, same set of bonus tracks. Evil Sinner is still there. So even in around 2016, reissues have that bonus track. It's possible some of these unknown ones don't, but again, since there's no year tied to those, yeah, I don't know if that's going to help us any because we won't know when exactly they came out. So, okay, track list was okay in the late 80s, but on those first reissues we saw, didn't see any reissues from the 1990s either, which, I mean, when you think about the heavy metal scene in the US throughout the 1990s, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, when it starts getting reissued there around 2005, that's when you get the track added to Heavy Metal Maniac. All right, now let's see if the timing also lines up here on Violence and Force. In a way, I'm more interested on when did Violence and Force lose the song? I don't mind that it shows up as a bonus track on Heavy Metal Maniac. It's a great song. Why not have it on both? But when does Violence and Force lose the track? Well, we got 32 versions to look through. Let's see what we can figure out here. I'm looking for kind of the first CD pressing. So here's CD pressing, uh, Czechoslovakia in 1991. That's not what I was going to guess, but sure, let's have a look at it and see what the track listing looks like. I think I've looked for this pressing before and it does have the right track list. So yeah, right there, track 5, Evil Sinner. Okay, so everything's good there. Yeah, because I've looked to replace my CD with one that has Evil Sinner on it, but some of these older CD pressings are kind of expensive. Yeah, for one song that I've already got on vinyl, and that doesn't seem like a good way to go. Here's an Italian CD pressing from 1992. I think this one also has it. Yep, Evil Sinner, track 5, right there it is. All right, so still everything was cool in 95. What about 1999? Here's a Steamhammer CD pressing from 99. I'm not familiar with this pressing. No idea if it'll have it. Ah, right there. Right there, the Steamhammer press from 99, it's down to only 9 tracks. It has lost Evil Sinner. Let's see, I think there was only a cassette in between. Is that what we saw? Yeah. Well, let's see. The cassette is from Italy, same one, so the cassette should probably have. Yeah, that's the same as the 92 Italian CD press. And yeah, still has it. Okay, so that's when Violence and Force lost the track. It still had it on these pressings in the early 1990s that were coming out of Chechnya and Italy. But when it came out on Steamhammer in 1999, several years before the Heavy Metal Maniac repressings is in 2005, the Steamhammer pressing somehow doesn't have the track. And again, we'll check a few more recent ones just to see what might have happened. Here's let's see, do we have a CD pressing? Yeah, here's some. Let's check. Here's a CD pressing from 2016. Is it Japan pressing? Nope, only 9 tracks. Let's check one more. What's the most recent one we have? We have a vinyl repressing in 2020 on Megaforce in the US. Does the vinyl pressing have the right track list? Nope, even this doesn't. Five, yep, only 9 tracks total. So even this pressing doesn't have Evil Sinner on it. All right, let's end the screen share and summarize what we've learned. So we know that the track was originally on Violence of Force, not not Heavy Metal Maniac. And it looks like the pressings in the late 80s and the earliest 90s still had the original track list to them. Then we don't have any reissues through the mid 90s at all. But when you get to the late 90s, the pressings of Violence and Force, the one that came out on Steamhammer, that all of a sudden went from 10 tracks down to 9 tracks and lost Evil Sinner. And when we saw Heavy Metal Maniac repressed around 2005, Evil Sinner ended up on this when it had never been on this before. So that is my quandary. We now kind of know when, at least, the transition happened. Somewhere there in the mid 90s, stuff and things occurred that messed this up. But I would really, really like to know why. Why did Violence and Force lose one of its best songs? And why did the song end up on Heavy Metal Maniac? We've established that there's nothing in the songwriting credits that would indicate Evil Sinner had to be taken off because of, copyright issues or songwriting issues. And we've established that the version that's showing up on these reissues of Heavy Metal Maniac, it is the original version. It's not like it's some redone version or live take or demo take or something that was originally part of the Maniac recording sessions. No, the information here spells out that it's from the sessions when they would have been recording Violence and Force. So the piece of information we're missing now is why. And I have to leave this to you. So get to work. Find me an answer. Let's see if we can figure out why in the world this track migrated from one album to the other when it was getting reissued around the turn of the century. Weird little mystery. I'm hoping someone out there will know the answer or can figure it out because I just can't, and it bugs me. So that's it. You've got your homework assignment. Go forth, do some sleuthing, and let's see if we can solve this weird little mystery regarding Exciter and the Lost Song. That's it for this time. Hope you enjoy figuring this one out. Hopefully it doesn't drive everyone as insane as it has driven me. If nobody finds an answer, then I may have just made the situation worse, and all of you will have to share in my pain. But I am confident that someone out there will know the answer to this. If I find it, if you know, by all means, please spell it out in a comment down below, and I'll be sure to star it, give it the little heart emoji thing, so it'll kind of maybe float to the top, and everybody else will see the comment as well. Good luck. I hope we find the answer. Until next time, everybody take care, and as always, keep banging your head.